Hello, explorers. New and old. Welcome to the Pachorus Exclusion Zone, also called the Radius. I'm Silent. I work for the UNPSC and allow me the honor of being a guide on helping you survive the Radius. Because a lot of you are returning, and an in-game tutorial kind of already exists, I won't be really covering any of the basics like throwing probes or making sure the safety on your gun is off. Uh, so I'm going to try to go over some other less mainstream tips and tricks. So, without further ado, and the power of editing, which is something I'm very new to, let's get this started. How does this work? Come on. The hell? Can't get it to work. What the? Huh? Um. Okay. Uh. How? Not sure. Okay. Anyway, let's get right into it. So we're in the supply room right now. We are still in the facility. Uh, so we're in a safe area right outside of the right outside the Peshora zone. Excuse me. So the first thing I have is organization. That's why we're here. That's the first tip and trick. It sounds silly, but organization is a key part in making sure that you survive. You don't want to have everything scattered all over your book bag. Whereas, you know, you start having overlapping items, it makes it harder to grab. Yeah, I want to grab, the toothbrush. Now I'm having a hard time. It took much longer. Whereas if you keep your book bag organized, like items together, just like that, I don't know why you would be traveling with this so many of these items particularly, but if you keep your book bag organized, if you stay organized, a pouch is an example of another area to keep organized because you can freely put stuff that'll float in there, right? So what you want to do is keep like items on top of each other just to keep yourself organized. Little groups will make such a big difference, especially when you're out in the Pachorsk zone. So that's the first real tip I've got for you guys, which actually brings me into the next tip, which is uh, building your loadout. That's a big part of Into the Radius 2. It wasn't something that was really big in Into the Radius 1, although you had to be careful with what gear you brought out. You didn't really have gear to customize. You just had your armor, your helmet, standard loadout, and that was it. And Into the Radius 2, all of the armor pieces are modular, and you can actually customize not only the color, but what pieces you have where. There's left and right versions, weapon carriers for primary, secondaries. You can have primary, well, they call them the large magazine pouches. They also have small magazine pouches for pistol rounds, and I believe it also fits the small SMG. You can stack mags on top of each other, such as that. A big part of that is being comfortable in the gear that you're wearing. If you're not comfortable in the gear you're wearing, you're not going to be effective out in the radius. You want to make sure that your primary is easy for you to grab, your secondary is easy for you to grab, and they don't have to go in the typical spots. Like your primary doesn't have to go on your back. Your secondary doesn't have to go on your waist. You can put it on your chest. You can put your primary on your chest. You can have your ammos on your back. You can have ammo on your book bag specifically. That also brings us to the backpacks. The backpacks have spots for everything. These clips are a new item. They allow you to basically attach almost any item in any spot that you want on chest rigs. Let's see. Grab a good piece of armor here. So as you can see, you can put this anywhere. And you can put something as simple as a lighter, health, ammo box, or for some reason, I think, no, that does not, I'm sorry, that does not work. I believe attachments also. You can store your attachments on there when they're not on your gun. And on the inside of your armor, you can have armor plating, which there are 3 different levels. That also brings us to the weight. There's a weight system involved, and this is the Radius 2. It doesn't affect your speed as much as it did in the first game, but it does stop carrying things at your limit. So once you're at your limit, you won't be able to store more items in your pouch, in your rig, if your rig is overweight, or in your backpack if your backpack's overweight. So that's something you're going to have to keep an eye on when building your loadout. That brings us into our third tip and trick, which is how long are you going to be out in the radius? Are you going out for a quick trip, a little stroll? You're just going to the basic area? Or are you really getting into a deep stay? And you plan on staying out for prolonged periods of time? Maybe you plan on hanging out in the radius during the tide. Keep an idea of what area you're going to be in and what bunker you might have to use if you have to go out and stay in a bunker. And it also tells you how much ammo are you going to carry. Is it just a couple mags worth of ammo? Do you need extra boxes? Do you need extra food? Keep that stuff in mind. That's all very, very important. Bringing us into the fourth tip, time management. Time management is massively important in this series. It's what really, in my opinion, sets it apart from other similar series in the flat screen world. This time management that you have to deal with the tides is extremely important because everything is going to get reset. The enemies are going to come back. You can't just freely roam after taking out all of the enemies. All of the anomalies now have a random spawn point. So wherever you are, you're no longer going to be able to return safely if you fought your way there. You now have to fight your way out. So time management is going to be a huge, huge factor in your survival out there. And that'll bring us into our fifth trick, which is double checking your gear after each engagement. Time moves faster in the radius than it does in the facility. So checking your gear at the facility, it can be extremely important and time saving. But checking it out in the field is also extremely important. Don't forget to take out a minute or two to pull your backpack out, check your ammo, make sure everything is good. Make sure that you're ready for your next engagement if that's where you got to go. Let's see. Which brings us into gear maintenance. Make sure your gear is always maintained. As you use any of your gear, the durability of it will decrease, so guns will have a tendency to jam, and armor plates will get damaged and disappear once their durability is gone. Same thing with, helmets won't disappear, but they'll no longer protect you once their durability has been depleted. I think that pretty much takes care of all of the gear and planning. So I'm going to head out into the radius for a couple field tips. I won't go over any specific entities or anomalies in this video, but I will give you more general tips to follow that should keep you alive in the zone. Let me know in the comments if you want survival guides on entities or anomalies as well. Anyway, now to the radius. No? Nothing? How does this work? Come on. What the? Well, okay. I gotta be careful with what I say. I'm not entirely sure how to do this editing thing yet. Anyway, now that we're out in the radius, let's get into a couple tips and tricks out here pretty quickly. First things first, when you're engaged with enemies, keep moving. In general, keep moving. You don't want to stay still in one place for too long because enemies figure out where you are, where you may be, and they know your last known location. and they're going to harp on that. They're going to come get you. The same thing goes with just staying mobile in general will help you survive even when getting shot at and they know where you are. So that'll be the next thing you got to think about is clearing rooms. Enemies hide and they ambush. They'll do all kinds of things to get you, especially mimics and creepers. Those guys like to hide and pop up on you as well. Oh, speaking of enemies. Firing. Staying mobile can be really important in saving your life. Now, another big important tip out here is listening to your surroundings. Keeping an eye or an ear on the noises that are happening in the radius would be very important. Oh, exactly my point. Staying mobile, viewing your surroundings, checking corners, and listening. Had I not been listening in that moment, I wouldn't have heard that creeper jump out. Because they'll always make a noise before they come get you. But just don't forget. Corners, make sure corners are empty. Well, it looks like this is pretty much it in here. That brings us on to, pretty much our last tip here. Tip number 10. Loot everything. Sell everything. Stash guns and new guns are very different. Stash guns don't normally accept any kind of attachments. There are a couple exceptions to that rule, but for the most part, sell them unless you're going to collect it. Sell everything you got, even empty cigarette butts, empty containers, empty ammo crates. They're all worth some kind of credits. Sell it all. The economy in this game can be quite difficult on normal difficulty, so just keep that in mind. It'll help you get on top in the end. Every little bit matters. Every bullet you pick up, every ash piece that you grab, which is another thing that you should try to grab. Ash is in this game, and the ash is worth monetary value. It's nothing you see right away, nothing you have to turn in, but as you grab it, small amounts of credits will be deposited into your account. I think that pretty much wraps it all up. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video, giving you a couple tips and tricks. Oh, before I go, a bonus tip. The gameplay is customizable through the menus. The difficulty settings is extremely custom. You can even turn enemies completely off and run through the radius with no care really in the world. You can change the amount of random anomalies that spawn in the maps, as well as a ton of graphical settings that you can change. So be sure to customize your gameplay to your liking. That's part of what makes this game so great. The ability to customize the game to your playstyle. But that'll wrap it up. Stay safe, explorers. If you like this content, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. If you want to join join me on my weekly live excursions out here in the radius, we're live on YouTube every week. But thanks for watching, because I don't know when you're watching. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Goodbye.